Hello, welcome to another Wednesday night stream. I'm Dustin. I have Roger with me. Roger, if you want to introduce yourself to anyone that maybe is new coming to hang out and watch the stream with us.
Well, I guess I'm your partner in crime on Wednesdays, retired science teacher, helping with your podcast and with the website and creating whatever, trying to find ways to show that games have a viable use for learning.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
And it's really hot here, and I'm a little lethargic because I have my thyroid's acting up today, so I'm kind of feel like I've been hit in the head with a frying pan, but I'm okay.
Yeah, it's been super hot here too. Yeah, so we go live every Wednesday. We kind of talk about some fun stuff related to games or education, or games for learning. And sometimes we have some fun segments, sometimes some guests. I've been slacking at getting guests on the show, so it's just been Roger and I most weeks, the past 4 or 5 weeks. But we'll if you're ever interested in coming on the show with us to talk about games or share maybe a project you're working on or anything you're doing with games or games in education, we're definitely happy to welcome anybody onto the show. We also do a game at the end, and we have had people join us in the game, just not live during the stream. So that's been really fun. Today, we're going to play a game that is more, I guess someone could join us if they want. So if you're watching and you want to join, I'll maybe leave a banner down below. But you'll have to comment before we start the game, and we can get you into the game to play. All right. So we always start with a fun, just question related to games or games in education. Today's is about the board game hobby and just where you normally pick up your games. Or maybe I kind of want to change this question to I'm going to change it after I ask you is, how do you hear about new games and where do you normally pick them up? Both those questions. So you can answer first. I'll let you go first.
Okay, so it's kind of like a loaded question. It's got two layers to it. I have some websites that I frequent and stuff like that. I don't know, like Tantrum House and a couple online, like the store I work for. Sometimes BGG. Sometimes it's word of mouth, because they got people that are always doing those sorts of things. And then I think, obviously, since I work at a game store, that tends to be the place where I pick up most of my stuff. And I have another game store here in town too that I like to support as well, because they're doing a big sale right now, and I'm probably going to go over there and grab some stuff from them, at least for the first part of the month, just because they really had a kind of a rough time with COVID, and they had to rework what they were doing, because it's a board game bar, and then they had to pretty much go to retail, and they really weathered it really well, but they're just kind of doing it as a thank you to everybody that kind of kept them going for the year or so, which is good. Because I hate to lose any of our places to play, So
yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna share this website because you mentioned Board Game Geek, and sometimes maybe someone might come check out the stream that's not very familiar with board games. Board Game Geek is like the place for the board game hobby. If you want to learn anything about board games or tabletop games, Board Game Geek would be the spot for it. The infamous top 100, right? I don't know where that's at. And they also have the hotness. Those are the games that are talked about the most.
Right.
I don't use.
Yeah, they buried that top 100 someplace. I had to kind of run around to look for it when I was looking at it before, because they've redone the whole page. So I know it's there somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Where they put that.
I haven't been using it much since they've updated it either. And I remember it was on the left, I thought. But yeah, you can just look at top 100 or actually top thousands of games. They list them all by top games. I don't know how it's even rated. Do you know anything about their rating system?
No, I don't know. I don't know how they do the rating system. I'm not sure. I probably should know that, but yeah, I don't know. That's really interesting. I don't know if it's based on. I'm wondering, Dustin, if it's actually kind of based on. I mean, they have to have some kind of metric that they're measuring it on, but I would guess that it's based on the ratings, and because you can go in and rate games from 1 to 10, and like how many ratings it has, and then the overall average of those, I'm pretty sure, if you looked at something, that's really popular, like number one I'm pretty sure is still sitting there is Gloomhaven. So I mean, if you looked at that, it probably has a lot of ratings. So I'm pretty sure that's one of the big metrics that they use. So like, yeah, if you looked at Gloomhaven, and then
That's
I mean,
number
if you
one.
like clicked on it, but yeah, if you click on it, you could look at the average rating, but then you could see how many people have rated it, because that's always the information. Like they have comments.
4K ratings.
Yeah, 44,
Yeah,
44K,
44K.
44,000. Yeah, so it's 44,000. I mean, yeah, that's a lot.
Wow, Gloomhaven
So,
Jaws the Lion is 6th. I didn't realize that was that high up there too.
right.
And
Yeah.
that's like an entry level to what Gloomhaven's all about.
Yeah, well, it basically has got a tutorial in it. The first 5 missions teaches you how to play the game, and then you can, because you're playing characters in that, you can transfer the 4 characters from Jaws of the Lion into Gloomhaven. So after you played those 5, you could go play regular Gloomhaven, or you could just play the 25 missions there. And it's just, I think it's a good one, if you were thinking about getting it, because that's a very meaty game. It has a lot of stuff going on to where you have a lot. You could be playing that quite a long time.
Yeah,
So
it's
I think it's a neat idea, kind of what
yeah,
they did with that.
awesome. So for me, I'm gonna stop sharing here. Where do I normally hear about new games? I guess the Facebook groups is probably my biggest place where I hear about new board games, because I'm always scrolling through Facebook. It's kind of like, one, I use it for promoting board game with education and just staying engaged with the community and board games and that. And then I'm just kind of just scrolling through it because it's a bad habit. But a lot of my feed is filled with board game related content. So I think that's where I probably get most of my information, or hear about new games. I know that I've recently been using TikTok again, and I'm following a lot of board game content creators there, and I'm learning about some games, but they're mainly games I've already learned about through the Facebook group. And then where do I get our games? I think like you, we try to go to the FLGS, which is Friendly Local Game Stores. There's a couple in LA, and let's see, we recently picked up a couple games from a Friendly Local Game Store, and then when we were in Nebraska, I picked up a couple from Spielbound Cafe there in Nebraska is the other one.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess, and if you're watching, feel free to let us know where you pick up your games, or if you're watching, check out the replay. Feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear maybe about your favorite game store or favorite place to pick up games. And we're going to move into our next part, which are some updates for Board Game with Education. The first thing, or I guess the one thing that we'll talk about, is our summer camp. So I'm going to share my screen again. So this is something we're doing here in Los Angeles. We're going to try to do. We tried to do this last year as an after-school program right before the pandemic when we moved back to Los Angeles, and we ended up not going through with it because of the pandemic. And we're going to try it again. And June 12th is, July 12th is the first session. We have some early bird prices too up until June 14th. Apparently things are supposed to be opening back up in California on June 15th. But again, we don't know 100%. So we're planning to do in person. We do have a virtual option. If we end up not being able to do it in person, there's a virtual option. There's a discount for ending up. If we end up going that route, you can get a discount or just a refund on your either deposit or payment. Yeah, so I'm excited because we have these are the classes that we're doing. I don't know if I've shared this with you, Roger, but
yeah, I think we talked about it last week.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if I talked about the classes, but maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you just showed the logo, but you didn't really talk about the specific classes or anything like that. So
yeah. So I'm super excited. The first one is Pokemon Training Club. And there's I'm going to leave them on the screen, just learning objectives. I'm not going to go over all of them. But just kind of getting together with some students 6 to 8 years old and working on some writing and reading skills, a little bit of math as well. And then board game design class. So that is a class where we look at just the basics of board game design and work through some different mechanics and learn about what makes a game. And then we design our own game, tabletop games. So I renamed that course. I need to change it there, but it's supposed to be tabletop games and 21st century skills, or 21st century skills in tabletop games. And looking at just very specific, like problem solving, planning ahead, and looking at where those skills are developed through tabletop games, and then storytelling and role playing games. So working on playing different role playing games, and then students will have an opportunity to potentially, if they want to, lead their own role playing game. Yeah, so that's happening this summer.
Cool.
And then I'm going to go over to you, because our special segment, we're going to talk about the Kickstarter calendar, and that's something you've been putting together. So I'm going to share my screen and let you talk about it.
So this is just a calendar. I'm just trying to stay up with what we just talked about when we opened, with stuff that we think that is coming out. It's showing retail games that are coming out. And I usually mention like what subject area it might potentially be hitting, and then any Kickstarters that are on there. I'm putting those out when I find that information out about it. And it usually involves, if I have a link to the Kickstarter as soon as it goes live, I usually throw that in there so people can look at that. And it's usually right at the top. But in the description, if you mouse over it or you click on it, I give the player count, the time, the age, and a little description of the game. Just so that it's just kind of keep people in the loop, let them know that there's constantly stuff out there, even though we're recommending things, that there's new things being thrown at us all the time. So, and I try to find as much, subject matter as I can, but I think it's also dependent upon what's available on Kickstarter and what's coming out on retail. So I keep that pretty current. I check. In fact, I'm in it every day, adding stuff. So there's constantly stuff going on. That doesn't necessarily mean something might go on there, but it's maybe a couple of weeks out if I can find the information on it. A lot of the retail ones, sometimes, unless I have some info on it, might not go up until that day, but you can always go back, and look at the different stuff that's there. And then I also put on there with the Kickstarters, once they do, I also tell you when it ends, so that at least you can go and look like, well, I have that much time to look at it or whatever. So just trying to throw some more info out there, that there's games being tossed that have, educational value potentially, are coming at us constantly. So it's a way for you to look for those sorts of things if you're interested.
Awesome. And I think you chose a game to share, but before you share it, you can add this to your own Google Calendar by just hitting that plus sign there.
Right.
I'm not going to add it, and I don't want to share my calendar too much.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
I think it's pretty okay, but just in case, get some stalkers. So one on there, I kind of want to just share. If you click on it, the link's right there, and you can copy and paste it, but it's already copied and pasted. So the game that you wanted to talk about is Fossil Canyon. You want to share a little bit about it?
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting. It's kind of like a puzzle type game, like you're digging fossils and building dinosaur skeletons. And you're making a museum, but what's kind of interesting is that this one, it looks like they are developing it in collaboration with the Field Museum of Chicago. So, like everybody's getting involved in this now. But it looks like it's a pretty quick playing game. I think it's like 2 to 6, 30 minutes, like 7+, I think was on the age, if I remember right. And so it looks like you're drawing these, you're digging, which basically you're throwing the cards out on the table, and then you can trade some of the cards, and then you get to actually take and try to build the skeletons. So they have pieces to build the skeletons, but the cards look kind of cool. I don't know, the artwork was kind of interesting, but it kind of adds some information like how many visitors that particular skeleton is getting. So I think they're obviously basing this off of skeletons the skeletons or whatever they probably have in the museum. And then there's like information like, when that dinosaur was alive, like they give some length and the weight and potentially the diet. You know, I mean, they do know that, you know, it's basically an herbivore or, you know, or carnivore or something along those lines. But yeah, I thought it looked kind of cool, and it's pretty inexpensive game, and it's like $20. And
That's all.
then the deluxe edition is only 29. So and that's going to be running for what, another 29 days. So it's going to end like early July-ish.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I thought it looked kind of cool. And that's just something that popped up today. So that was one of the ones that I found.
Yeah. It's already funded like almost
Yeah,
twice.
which is good. I mean, it's they're going for 5,000, and they're, matter of fact, they just got some as I'm looking at it right now. So they're almost up to about 10,000. So that definitely looked like it's going to fund.
Awesome. Yeah. So I just want to maybe share two real quick, just in case anyone's not familiar with Kickstarter. So Kickstarter is, I mean, it definitely is. The board games are the biggest category on Kickstarter, and essentially you pay up front for a project because you want that project to succeed. And I've been pretty good and pretty lucky for the most part. I think there's like two projects that I haven't received out of, maybe I've probably backed like 50 or 60 at this point now.
They come over 100 of them or something, and I've only had a problem with one so far. So
yeah, usually,
you know,
I mean,
it was just really late, but I've gotten everything that I've pledged for. And then there's stuff that's really slow this year, unfortunately, because of the pandemic and situations like that too. So a lot of them are very, very slow being, you know, delivered, and it's just the way that it is.
Yeah. And then, I mean, that's how Kickstarter, I mean, there's a whole can of worms that we could get into with Kickstarter, but there's a kind of broad thing for anyone not familiar with it. It's where a lot of board games are, like even board game companies have started through Kickstarter because they launched their project, it did really well, and now they have a company and they are releasing games from that first game. But yeah. So the game I chose.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, you go.
Yeah. I was just going to just real mention too with the Kickstarter. I think that it kind of allows, if you're a designer and you can't, you know, you pitched your game to publishers and none of them are interested, it's a way to work around that. So a lot of them are using it for that.
Yeah, you kind of become a designer and a publisher, and then
exactly
you could kind of potentially move fully into that design role after you've had a successful Kickstarter, because you can leverage that to be. Yeah,
some people have.
So the one I chose is Keystone North America.
Cool. Yeah, this looks good.
And this is one we will have at Board Game with Education when it is fully published. Essentially, I'm going to play the video just to be
North
first
America,
30 seconds.
Home to thousands of unique species. Spread out among its vast plains, beautiful tundra, lively wetlands, and lush forest,
that
are the presence of many wondrous interconnected ecosystems. Among these ecosystems exist unique plants and animals known as Keystone Species.
Yeah, so essentially it's like the main species of North America, the Keystone Species, and as an ecosystem game. So looking at ecosystems and how animals, these keystone species interact, I think you get specific, what's it called? Like the tundra, the plains, what are those called?
Oh, the biomes?
And biomes, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, and you can score based on different biomes. So yeah, I'm excited because we'll be getting this at the store at Board Game with Education too. It looks like it's a kind of a spatial awareness.
Yep. Yeah, kind of a Tetris-y puzzle-y thing, tile laying game. Yeah.
Diana was on the podcast and she defined those terms, but I'm a bad learner since I can't remember spatial awareness and spatial reasoning, the difference.
Right.
Spatial awareness is like your position in a field, where spatial reasoning is how to fit something. So I think it's spatial reasoning. I think this would be spatial reasoning.
Right.
I think. All right. Yeah, so that's the one that I wanted to share. So I think what we got next. Oh, we're gonna keep talking about games. So we're gonna go to board games in 2. I'm gonna go to mine first. And then we'll go over to the one you chose. I chose a few Pokemon. I think I shared this story. When did I share this story? Last week, about helping my tutor, a student I've been tutoring for a while. We used Pokemon the card game to
Mhm.
practice English and learning different words, and really is kind of a break from our normal lessons, but also to kind of practice some reading. And what I realized, that there's some mental math involved in the game. So practicing mental math, there's addition, subtraction, multiplication, some of that stuff that's really helpful in problem solving. So it's also very popular. So we're excited to kind of carry a product that's really popular right now as well. But we kind of just have these starter kits and some booster packs. So the trainer kit is something that would be really great for new players. It's designed like very much for new players to get going. Very simple kind of kit for that. And then the other ones are just other decks that come with like the same cards. And then I think this one is like a deluxe deck, so you get like coins and some bonus cards. And these are just packs. All right, and you chose this one, so
Yep. Yeah. Welcome to Dino World. Yeah. So this is what's really, I think it's still really hot right now, but this what they call a roll and write or a flip and write. So basically what that means is that every player will get an actual little piece of paper, because it usually comes with a pad of like sheets that actually has the game board. So everybody has their own game board. So you're interacting on your own game board, and you can use pencils or pens, and you're basically rolling dice. And you're in this game, you're building a dinosaur park. So you're going to be rolling dice, and you're going to, depending on the die roll, you can use those to, build certain kinds of dinosaurs. It has kind of a thing like, Velociraptor and different species. They have a few different species that you're putting in. But then this one's tricky because you can't, once you built in a spot, you can't cover that spot up, but you have to connect all of the dinosaurs to a power source. So you have to put those down. So when you're drawing the shapes of your, you're making like a paddock where you're enclosing them, but then there's also information on there what the shape of the paddock can be. And so it's very Tetris-y in that sense. Pretty thinky game. It has an advanced mode where the dinosaurs can break out of the park and, they're eating the guests and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. We had a discussion with somebody the other day kind of about that, that idea that, I remember when I was teaching my students when we used to do stuff with Jurassic Park and stuff. And I was always, my big point was, well, these animals, we've missed each other by so many, millions of years, that how would they know we're food, kind of thing. But I think that adds kind of the tension. But anyway, you have in this too, you also have objectives that you're going for during the game. And then you also have objectives out on the board that other players, you're all competing for them. So this one's got a lot more interactiveness to it for those kinds of things. So you're basically just taking turns building this park until, I don't remember how many rounds it goes for, but it plays up to 99. I don't know why they just didn't make it 100, but it goes from 1 to like 99 players. That would be pretty challenging, but I mean, it's definitely one of those ones where you could play it with a lot more, people, and it doesn't have a lot of, game pieces and stuff like that. So, I mean, you basically just have this paper. There are some cards, but that could easily be, one person could run that in an area. And they have rules how that works, when you get up to certain amounts of players. Because when you're in smaller player counts, you're competing kind of with the players that are next to you for these goal cards. There's some goal cards that both of you can kind of complete. The first time somebody completes it, like they build like so many herbivore dinosaurs or something, then they take that card and then they get those points at the end of the game. But yeah, it's really fun. But it's pretty thinky and spatial, and it's got some good strategies, and really makes you think about, oh, well, does that make sense where that would go, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I really like that one.
Awesome. And we're gonna move into playing I guess this one's a flipping, right? So
yep, but it's the same kind of thing, but those are super popular right now. It's a really popular game format right now.
they work really well virtually. I think is a
Oh yeah.
bonus too.
Yep.
So
Yep. And I think even Dustin, like even in a classroom setting or something, I think they potentially could be a little more accessible. If you just had the papers you gave students, and then you're not really messing with a bunch of game. Yeah. So you're not going to be.
Yeah, I think what's great with it is like many people can play, right?
Yep.
So it can
Exactly.
be used in the classroom pretty easily. All right, I think we are playing Cartographers. So just to go over where you can play this at. This is called happymeeple.com. I just did a Google search a few weeks ago when we first played this to see if we could play this game online, and we can. What's awesome about this game is you don't need to use this website. If you have a copy of the game, there are downloadable and printable or even PDF versions. I think it was PDF, or maybe it was just like a web-based app, HTML.
Yep.
Versions of the game. So if you just have the one version, you can use the cards from the one version. You can play with people remotely. Yeah. So, or you can use happymeeple.com. The thing is, with this site, you are limited to the amount of times you can play a game. So you get like there's a game economy called bread, and you have to spend bread to play a game, and that refreshes. Yeah, so I guess I'll go over how to play. You might have to help me out if I forget.
Okay.
So
I got you.
each round a card.
Yeah. Do I need to hit let's go on this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So each round a card is drawn, and on that card it tells you what you need to draw on your map. So our map is down here. This is the card that was drawn. We have to draw villages or forest, and we have to use this kind of shape to draw it. It works in 4 seasons, and you score points by completing different goals based on the season. So you can go down here. This is the first season, second season, third season, fourth. So like spring, summer, fall, winter. Spring, you're scoring points on goals A and B. So this one says earn 3 reputation stars for each cluster of farm spaces not adjacent to water space or the edge of the map. Or with water spaces. So you're just trying to get water spaces and village spaces next to each other, but not next to the edge of the map or other water or village spaces. And just going to go over this one for this season, because I think we should probably start. Last time it kicked us out because we took too long.
Right.
Earn 3 reputation stars for each cluster of village spaces that is adjacent to 3 or more different terrain spaces. So we need a cluster of villages next to other terrain. So we'll score more points, again, for the different seasons, C and D, but we're just focused on A and B right now. We score points for surrounding mountains as well, and monsters sometimes come up and take away points. Did I forget anything?
Nope.
I got it.
So, yep.
So I think I want to do some villages next to you.
Yep. And then, if you can surround the mountains, then you get a coin, and then that generates a coin, and which is points every round. And then the other thing that potentially can happen in this game is that it's got the interactive thing, is that a monster can pop up. And then what Dustin and I would do is we'd have to trade boards, and we put the monsters on, and it's usually some kind of shape that's on each other's boards. And then what we got to do is we got to work around trying to cover all the spots, because every open spot ornithogonally, up and down, left and right, that is exposed gives us negative points in the round. So I don't know why or is it letting you try to pick yours?
Yeah, it won't let me place it. Are you having the same issue?
Well, I'm clicking it because that's where I want it to go. It's giving me that's interesting. I kind of want to put it there. I don't want to do that. It should just. Is it doing the same thing to you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's giving me the check mark, but
I have the check mark too.
I mean, I've tried putting it in some different spots. Kind of want it there though.
I'm gonna try to hit play again, same opponent, and see what happens. So we
The
have
match
some.
was it says oh, it says I won the match because we were too inactive again. Yeah, you
Oh,
got
no.
this. Yeah, this one's it's yeah, if we don't get going pretty quick, we may have to just kind of explain it as we're going.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I think I can buy some food to start a new match. So I just bought some more food. Do you need? You probably need food to play too. How much food do you?
Well, it says I got +4 food, so.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna send you a new link to play.
Okay. Oops.
Can't copy it. So come on, copy. All right, I'm gonna send it over to you on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can join now. Hopefully this works this
Okay.
time.
Yep, and I think we gotta probably jump right in.
Yeah, I think if you don't go quick enough, it kicks you out.
So that could have been me. Okay. I'm not seeing the game. I'm just on the regular page here.
Oh, really?
Yep. Hang on a minute. Let me try this again. Yeah, it just took me to the front page.
Oh, there we go. Play with a friend, opponent found. Is it loading?
Okay. Wait a minute. Continue to match. Okay.
Oh, it took my food.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine's
So
still
I guess we're
loading.
just gonna have to go quick. Treetop Village is what we do. I think
Yeah, mine's
that's
still loading though. Mine's still saying loading.
it's still loading.
Yep. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm seeing with this site. It seems like it's a little clunky. Well, I said continue to match, and all it's doing is loading. There we go. Well, let's see. What is this? I've got to look at these really quick. Range cluster farm, not adjacent to water. This one, long one is large. Oh, okay. I know what that one is. Okay, there we go. So then there's the next one. So the cards have numbers on them. So once we hit that number, then that's when we're going to score. So this one we got to do. Oh, this is just any one thing. Ugh. So farms are not adjacent to water. Yeah, I do not. This is that's the biggest group. Well, I'm going to do that, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't too hard of them. So this one now, because it's a ruin, whatever we draw, we have to place it over one of the ruin spots. It has to cover one of those. So I'm just looking at the other one. It's forest surrounded by forest by filled spaces at the edge of the map. Man,
It is a turn 1 reputation star for each forest space surrounded on all 4 sides by filled spaces or the edge of the map.
Okay. Yeah, that's rough. So this one is this. So I didn't even see what. Oh, we're 6 of 8, which means if we get another 2, then the round's going to score. Not adjacent to water. This is. Or the edge of the map.
So I'm trying to score my points. I'm looking ahead here with the forest space.
Yeah, but you got to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't really like that, but I think that's what I got to do. Oop, no, we're going to have to go another round because that's only Ooh, so
Ooh,
this one we got the gold coin, which if you use that one, you get a coin. So you don't get to cover as much spot, but it gives you a coin. Now this is definitely going to make a score. Oh man, I'm trying to get that thing to.
I feel pretty good about mine. My little green forest here. Let's look over at what Roger's got going on.
End
Ooh,
of the season.
I think I'm going to score a point there.
Yep.
I didn't even go for A or B.
So let's see. I got 3 for that, for the A. I got 9 for the Lost Bounty thing. So then we go to 8. So this one we're doing B and C, which is the tree tower for forests surrounded. 8 reputations for a cluster of 6 or more village spaces. Oh, okay. Interesting. See, I don't want that thing near water.
Bam. So I can look over at Roger's map here. And this is on the website. It's only 2 players, but it is a game that plays 1 in many. I think you can play again 100 with this one. As many people as you want.
Well, that's not going to work.
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good.
6. Oh wow, another one of those. Oh, I don't like that water one though. Not adjacent to a water space.
So my strategy, I am trying to not use water because then I don't have to worry about water being next to the farm for
so this one's got to oh, we have to give each other monsters. So I have to put this on your board. So remember for this one, ooh, that's a good spot. Wherever you place it, every open spot around there is a negative point for that player. But then what they're gonna have to do is I have to build next to it to cover those up. Oh, where did you put mine? Oh, that was mean. Oh, so this has to go on a ruin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't want to do that. That's not good. That's actually better. Oh, that doesn't. Why is it not letting me do that? Oh, it's got to go there. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a better spot, but I can't put it there. Hamlet. So we're at 7. So this is going to score. Ugh. That's 1, 2, 3. I already have 6. That's gonna. I'm looking at the D one, which isn't going to score yet, but I'm kind of thinking ahead here. Ooh. Well, I can do this.
I'm going for coins, so I got 3 coins per round now. You get coins for surrounding those mountains too.
Yep. Well, that's good. I got some of the monsters out of the way, but I don't know if I can get a.
Oh my goodness! Look at those monsters. I lost a lot.
Yeah, that gives you a bunch of negative points. So Barony, I got 9 for B. So B isn't going to score anymore. They score twice. So fall. So the timer clips up a little more with the number up in the left-hand corner of the card. Well, I kind of like that one. Get me some coins. Ooh, fishing village. Oh, yeah. Oh, I want that. Yeah, because sometimes you can look ahead, and you can kind of go, well, I'm not going to do very good with that one. Oh, this is more farm stuff or
Oh,
water.
it's 6 or more. Dang. I wasn't paying attention to that. Oh,
Oh,
well.
no, I don't want to do that.
Gotta block those monsters. Dang. Roger's killing me with 24 points. I got 19.
Yeah, I don't. Gosh, man, that shape has popped up a bunch. So this is going to end the round again. Oh, forest. What was the forest one again? Oh, surrounded by all 4 sides.
Oh, man. I played really bad this game.
End the season. Oh,
At least I got a lot of coins.
Yeah, I've got 6.
Oh, man.
I got -2 on the monsters for me. I got
-4. I got 4 for Tree Tower.
Ooh, I got 2 of the. I got those villages. I got 2 of them.
Ooh. I didn't realize it was separate clusters. I was just putting.
Yeah. You got to separate them if you can.
Yeah.
So I'd have to start another one. So this is, gosh, what is this shape with this again? Wow. Man, that one's going to be a rough one to fit in there. Yeah, that's probably not the best thing in the world. What's scoring this round? D and what are we scoring? D and A. We're back on A again. Okay, so it's those. Man, what is it with this water thing? Well, I don't want to. Well, I could put some farms. Well, no, I don't want to do that because you don't want it on the edge.
Yeah, that's the only place I can put it though. Darn.
Yeah, I wish you got something for water. I just keep orchard. Oh, this is going to end it. Oh, man, forest. Can I make that fit in there? Yeah, but I don't want to do those farms. Oh, the forests aren't scoring though. I don't think I can get a farm in there that works. Well, I could put it here and go for the coin. It's probably not ideal, but 7 coins.
I got 5. -3 monsters.
I only got -1 on the monster. I got that. That's one of the other things I wanted to do. 8 for that.
My goodness. You killed me,
And
I
then
think.
I only got 9 for the
79 to 42. Man, I got killed.
Yeah, that was, well, I don't know. I think what probably hurts you is that village one, which I've had before. Yeah, you got to build the separate ones. I was playing a game of this, somebody here that I showed just recently, the last week or two. And I don't know, they did a great job. They got like 4 of these clusters of the wild holds of the village. They got like, they got 32 points with that. It was just like, wow. It's just, really cool the way they did it.
Your Meeple's really excited for winning that game.
Yep. Yeah. He's jumping up and down. Yeah. He's jumping up and down. Yeah. He's freaking out.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
I keep looking over there because you can order cartographers. I got it. I have it over here. We have it in stock at boardgamewitheducation.com.
Yep. Such a good game.
Pretty fun game. Yeah. I want to play games in person again.
Yep.
We played, I don't want to, because we're getting close to time. Played Dune Imperium with Grace the other day, and that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I like that one a lot.
But you use the AI with 2 players, so it's like, the AI helps create some tension between us, like, but it's just not the same. I wish there were 3 or 4 players with us to play.
Right. I gotcha. That makes sense.
Cool. So Roger, I'll put your email up here.
Yep. It's best way to reach me.
And so that's Roger at boardgamewitheducation.com, and I'm podcast at boardgamewitheducation.com. And we'll be back next week. I think we'll be doing this for 2 more weeks, and then we're going to take like a 2-week break. So we got a couple more weeks. We'll be back on Wednesday next week. Thank you for watching. And Roger, thank you for joining me this week.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. It's great to be here.
We'll see you all next week.
Okay. Night, everybody.
Bye.